Welcome to video number 11 of Spiritual Topic Tuesday. Tonight, as always, we have an amazing group that's ready to break down their perspectives on the tools and practices they use in order to stay centered and grounded. And before we get started, I think that we should probably introduce ourselves. So my name is Randy Sands, psychic medium, tarot. I do a bunch of different things, but it's not about me. So let's get everybody else going.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angela Herrera. I am a shamanic practitioner, Reiki master, energy healer, life coach, and I love helping people find their true potential.
Melissa?
My name is Melissa Mack. I am an intuitive spiritual guide, coach, and healer, and I like to help people to feel better faster.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Karen Exelbert. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a healer, and very happy to be here and share the tools that I use in order to keep myself sane.
My name is Leanne. I am from Rochester, New York. By day, I own and work with the dogs nobody wants to deal with. I have a dog grooming salon. By night, I'm a psychic medium, animal communicator, and I run one of the largest paranormal investigation teams in New York State. And I'm here. So it's nice to meet everybody.
Sarah?
Okay, I'm Sarah Sachs. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm a medium, a psychic. I do tarot readings. I'm one of the 50 million current event tarot readers on YouTube. And I do Reiki as well.
Michael?
Hey, everybody. My name is Michael Robert. I'm an IT professional and psychic medium. And I'm also the creator of my own social media platform for psychics and intuitives.
All right. So we're going to break down our perspectives again on the tools and practices we use to stay centered and grounded. We hope at least one perspective resonates with you guys. You know, we do this so that if somebody is looking for answers, we hope they find something here. And with that said, I also want to remind those of you that are new here that at the end of every video, we have everybody's contact info. So if anybody resonates with you and you want to reach out to them, you have that ability. And with that, Angela, would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Yes. For me, the energy tools that I work with the most and that really resonate with my sanity, like Karen said, are crystals, because they are the ones that connect me most with Mother Earth and with the 5 elements. And the vibration and the frequency that crystals bring into my life help me find balance and help me find solutions, and enhance self-discovery and overall health in my life.
Okay. Melissa?
Okay. Okay. So, spiritually speaking, one of my favorite things to do in times of uncertainty or when you're going mad and you can't sleep or you can't get through the day or something's tripping you up is I love to bless everything. So I like to say, bless me, bless everything I'm thinking, feeling, doing, being, seeing, experiencing, allowing, and releasing, past, present, future, in this and every dimension. And if there's other people or another entity involved, I like to say, bless me, bless them, bless that situation, bless money, whatever it is. Bless everything between us, past, present, future, in this and every dimension. And I like to start the day even by just saying, bless everyone. Oh, bless everyone. Sorry, I have the distraction. I think I see it like every day. Bless everyone. Bless bless it, just bless it.
Mhm.
I like to say, bless everyone I know and everywhere I go, bless everyone I don't know and everywhere I don't go, and bless everyone every day and every way.
All
So this
right.
helps when I feel it helps to raise the vibration, then we can get a different perspective on life. And this is why I like to integrate with this type of thing.
Okay.
All right. So, well, I use different tools for different things, and I like to share this with a lot of my clients when they have problems. Like, for instance, if you feel ungrounded and you can't go outside to step on the earth, whatever, you can just close your eyes and for a few seconds, you can visualize the roots coming out from the bottom of your feet to the center of the earth, and you will say that roots to the center of the earth, and you can breathe 3 times, and that helps you to like be more grounded here. That's one tool that I like. And another very, very good one is forgiveness. If you're having issues with anybody, just to use forgiveness. And what I say is, if I have an issue with someone, um, let's say Melissa, like, if I hurt you in the past, consciously or unconsciously, I forgive myself and I liberate you. If you hurt me in the past, I forgive you and liberate you. If I hurt myself in the past, consciously or unconsciously, I forgive myself and liberate myself. And if you do that a few times and you breathe with it, you will definitely feel how the energy in your body shifts. It's amazing. It's magical. So with that, if you have any problems with a coworker, with a client, with a relative, you can just do that and just that energy dissipates and you feel much better. I also, people have a hard time forgiving, and I think it's so important forgiveness because it's not about the person probably that you're forgiving. It's about clearing that energy within yourself, because you don't want to walk with all that anger and resentment or sadness within you. So as you do this exercise, you're actually clearing yourself from all this energy that does not serve you or me or anybody else. So that's one. Another one that is very simple that I go to sleep sometimes with, that is just take some nice deep breaths and I just breathe in light and I exhale darkness. And I just guide myself, what I want to bring into myself and what I want to get out of myself. Bring in peace, breathe in peace, and exhale worries, and just that raises your vibration and it clears you up as well.
I have to agree with Karen on several things, but myself, I'm a business owner. I run the paranormal team. I have 5 children. I don't have time to fart, frankly. So if I can get in like a ritual a day, I'm happy. So I would love to sit here and say I do meditation and I journal and I do all this crap, but let's be honest. Okay, what I do, no matter what, is I set my phone actually to go off every 4 hours, no matter what. And it tells me literally GCP. And what that means to me is ground, clear, and protect yourself. My business has ran out of my home. So I'm letting people come into my home all day long. They bring their energy, they bring their nerves, their stress, their everything. And I literally will stop for 30 seconds, a minute, whatever I have, and just shoot. It's funny you said that, Karen. I shoot my roots down through my feet into the earth. I don't even stop what I'm doing anymore. I picture myself with, one of the elements, could be fire, wind, water, whatever you want. Mine is water. I shoot water through all my limbs in my head, and anything that's a little black or catching, I picture it just blowing out of my system. And then I just put a bubble around myself. And, I've been doing that now for quite a while. And since I've started doing that, life has been a lot easier. It sounds crazy, but it's the honest God truth. And like I said, the best thing I ever did was force myself to put those things in my phone. Because I don't have time, life takes over. You don't have time to do stuff. But if it stops you for 30 seconds, it stops you for 30 seconds. But it makes a huge, huge difference.
All right. Sarah.
Okay, yes, these are very turbulent and troubled times that we're living in, and I do watch the news because I have to keep up on current events because of the tarot thing I'm trying to get off the ground on YouTube, but I have to turn it off. I mean, I really do have to. Yeah, when it starts to sound like it's going on the loop, I said, I think I know everything. Turn it off, and I do the usual thing with I like to start the day with a meditation and sitting in the power, and to get my day off to a good start. I also feel as though I'm going to get away from the woo-woo stuff for a while, but I also find that going to see a good movie, and definitely I've got to have some comedy in my life, whether it's a TV show or a movie or something that makes me laugh. I think that in times like this, we really do need to take a comedy break and laugh. I've also found that my work is very helpful because at certain points that were kind of disturbing, like in 2016, I found that having a reading the next day where I could just be, connected with spirit and the client, and actually the reading turned out very well, that the work helps me because I kind of get out of myself and get with spirit and the energy of the client, but also to not avoid it altogether. That my philosophy is that a very good thing to do is if things are disturbing that are going on in the world, you do whatever little thing you can. And this is something I guess that goes way back to when I was in high school, to go make phone calls for for your candidate, to make little contributions. I can't do the doorbell ringing thing anymore, but I will work at the polls and pass out leaflets. So it's whatever you can do to live in the solution is also very helpful, and it's grounding to say that whatever happens, I want to know that I made some kind of contribution for the best outcome, and then just chuck it off to the universe or whatever. And I found that that's very helpful.
All right. Michael.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't find my mute button, my unmute button. I want to give 3 shout outs before I start describing. The first to Melissa, because I thought I was the only one who liked to bless random people and just like sometimes look out of my window in my condo and say, oh, I bless you, I bless you. And so I thought that's so incredible because I thought I was the only person that did that. So thank you for proving I'm not super weird. And then I need to give a shout out to Leanne, because that is a great idea to do GCP through your reminder, to using your technology as an IT professional. I love finding new ways that technologies helps us become more spiritual. So I love that. The other shout out is to Sarah, because of her mention of how important humor is. And I've seen the Dalai Lama speak in person. I've seen Eckhart Tolle. I was in the hot seat with Abraham Hicks. And the one thing that no matter who I see has in common is a sense of humor. Eckhart Tolle is hysterical. And a lot of people have a hard time believing that. Okay, so, but I digress. One of the things I do to ground is I do an activity it's kind of new. I've been doing it for 6 months now. And it's when I really need a good grounding, because it takes a long time. It takes like 3 to 4 hours. And what I do now is I make orgonites. And I'm not sure if everyone's too familiar with them. Orgonites are basically these pyramid structures made out of resin. They're like resin, and they have crystals in them. They have metals. And the idea of an orgonite is to combine organic and inorganic materials to produce an energy called Orgone Energy, and it's supposed to promote well-being and relaxation. It's supposed to absorb EM fields. I would encourage everybody to do research on Orgone Energy, but if you've gone into a metaphysical store, those are those pyramid-looking structures, and they're rather inexpensive to make because you have to mix resin. And what I like to do is, while mixing it in little batches, I speak into the resin. So I'll have a list of power words. I'll be like abundance, joy, light, compassion, that sort of thing, and stir into the resin as I'm combining it. And then I pour it into my mold, and you have to build them upside down because it's the mold is like this. So you build it upside down. And every time I add resin, I speak into it. I listen to chillaxing, meditative music. I burn incense, because the idea is you're putting a lot of energy into this project that you're putting together, and you're going to give this away, or some people sell them. I haven't gotten there yet because I just love giving them away. So mine are usually about 5 to 6 inches. They're huge. And I like to give those away, and when I give them to people, and I make them, all that grounding energy, all that, those power words, all that is infused in there. And that's what I do. That's like a super grounding. I live in Miami, Florida. So sometimes I just can't take the city anymore. I can't take the noise and the rush. So spending like the 3 to 4 hours it takes to make one with intention, because like everybody knows, the universe is fueled by intention, right? So making one with intention is just amazing, and it's so much fun. And I just love the wows I get when I give them to people, and I send them all over the country now. They're all over the place. It's a lot of fun. It's such a nice gift to give to people too. And if you buy them in the metaphysical stores, oh my gosh, they're expensive. So you can get one like this big, like maybe 2 inches tall, and it's going to run you like $30, $45. And the big ones are like $100. So to give something away like that, it's a lot of fun. So that's what I do.
Mike, can I ask where you found where'd you find the mold to make one? That sounds great.
Oh, you can go to Amazon and
Amazon?
just Orgonite mold. Oh my gosh, the amount of stuff out there for Orgonites, it's just incredible.
Yeah,
and you kind of start learning your own techniques as you start making them and what works for you. And it takes a little bit of patience because you're mixing resin and you can mess up, and then the resin gets hard before you're pouring it, and you're like, what happened? That sort of thing. But once you get the hang of it, it is so much fun to do. And they make wonderful gifts. I love giving stuff away. That's I think a problem.
Idea. I love that idea. Okay.
Well, good,
Yeah.
Mike. Make me next on your list because I want one for my reading table.
Oh, and that's a thing I forgot to say is when I make them, I wait for the recipe from Spirit. So like for example, Randy, you just said you would love an Orgonite. So if I get like a recipe for you, it'll be intuitive. So like whatever I decide to put in there, it's
meant for you
because I got that for you. Like it came down. So
That's
a lot
great.
of times people say something, they were like, oh, make one for me. And I'm like, okay, but I got to wait for the recipe. And like one day I was driving in my car and all of a sudden a recipe for a good friend of mine came in, and I'm like, oh, I know what I need to do. And I was like driving to Home Depot to buy stuff. And
Well, I'm
I
waiting.
love that. I love that.
I'm waiting for my recipe to come in.
Right.
Okay.
Blessing it.
Right. That's awesome. That's a great idea. That's fantastic, especially for people that are definitely. I'm a squirrel in traffic, ADHD. So I love anything that you can do with your hands. So I love the idea of being able to, meditating and stuff can be hard, but focusing your energy on something like that's huge. That's big. Very cool.
Okay, so this is a topic that I used to find very challenging. And it's one that I have to stay very conscious of due to my workload and my travel schedule. It's enough to get anybody whirling out of balance. So with that said, I personally use several different things. One is I have to work out. I find this works for me. It helps me get rid of the excess energy. And I call it the whirly bird. And it also releases endorphins. I love to drum. I was partially raised by a Native American Indian. She was Chippewa. And so that helps me a lot. And, it helps keep me grounded. I also meditate. Love it. Even if it's 5-10 minutes, it makes a huge difference for me. Another thing that I do is I also live near the ocean at this home. The other home is in the Smoky Mountains on the river. So I make it my business to not only frequent the water, but to make sure that I get in and submerge myself on a regular basis. Aromatherapy works really well for me. I have it going here in my office all the time. Crystals were mentioned, as you can see. I have them everywhere in my workspace. And I sit with my spirit guides a lot. A lot. In my opinion, spending time with them, I get great guidance, but I also get great communication. And it helps to keep me grounded and centered. And lastly, I like to take my shoes and socks off and go out and put my feet into the earth. And that tends to help me a lot. So with that, what I think we'll do is what we do a lot is if anybody has anything they'd like to add, we'll go through in the same order so we don't talk over each other.
Sure, I really took a lot from what everybody said, and I recommend a lot to my people that if they don't know how to meditate, they can contemplate at least. Because meditation, a lot of people think is scary because you're not a yogi, you're not experienced, and sounds super scary because they made it sound like you have to be enlightened in order to meditate. So I give them like this small trick to contemplate, to place their attention to a specific item, to a specific place, to a specific light, to just close their eyes and contemplate their breathing. And with that, it helps a lot with anxiety and it helps them find their inner self. And I also do what you guys said. I usually tell my people to bring from the heart of Mother Earth the roots. They come in red because they are grounding and they are powerful. And then from the bottom of your feet, you get roots as well. And then you get attached and you get grounded. And then you start charging your body with energy, light, beautiful, reddish energy. And then from the top of your head, you receive a ray of light from Spirit, from Creator, from God. And then they two merge in your body. And then you start releasing whatever doesn't serve you. That's one of the things that I do. And then I usually, like I said, I use a lot of the elements. So it depends on what I'm going for. If it is grounding, I use earth, Mother Earth, for stability and fertility. If I need to work with emotions, I use water because it flows and it adapts. And if I need something for inspiration or passion, I work with fire. And if things need communication or need to flow, but they need more flexibility, I use earth. And then I always finish with ether, with essence, with soul. So I can complete my work with spirit and with my spirit guides that I always present.
Melissa, you have anything to
add? Yeah, absolutely. I love what everybody was saying. And thank you so much. And also breathing, just stopping anytime and taking 3 deep, slow breaths in and slow out and pausing in between. And it's interesting because when you're in that in-between space, you just feel like they say that's where the yogis reside, in that space between the breaths. And so it'll help to, I've electrically measured people. It will help to increase the energy. You get oxygenated, so it's never a bad idea to take 3 deep breaths when you need to make a decision. You don't want to be making a decision when you don't have oxygen to your brain. If you're stressed, you're not getting oxygen. So the 3 deep breaths. Also with the grounding, touching a tree or putting your feet on the earth, like a lot of people are saying, and Karen was saying, is regenerating the electrons. They say when you put your feet on the earth, the electrons coming into your body happen so quick that they can't measure it. It just like immediately like fills your body with electrons. So if someone's depressed, anxiety, anything of this nature, just going out and simply touching a tree, putting your feet on the earth. And one more thing that I like to tell people to do, because my business is wellness for busy people, because I like to help people to feel better faster, get perspectives, working with them, helping them to feel better in a whatever way. And so to ask your angels, guides, and spirits, put it in front of my face, put it in my hands. What's the next step? What's the next thing I need to know about? What's the next thing I need to do? And you'll be surprised about what shows up, and getting quiet and just relaxing the freaky feeling, if at all possible. Okay, so that's one more thing I want to add is, I used to be afraid that the worst thing that can happen in any situation is you die. So if you make peace with death, then you should be, okay. But then I had 2 near-death experiences, and I was like, oh, maybe death isn't like the most horrible thing, because I don't believe in death, having had those experiences. I believe in life before life and life after life. And it just continues, really. So I don't think that's something that necessarily have to be afraid of, because there'll always be life. So if we can kind of take a serious look at what we think our fears are leading to, or what's the worst that can happen in a situation, we might find that, if I'm going in that, if I'm going in that direction, I'm going in that direction. God put it in front of my hands, like, this is my intention. I want to get past the situation. I want this next phone call to be really good. I want whatever you want to happen, to set the intention, and then just trust in the universe. And if you, leave the situation, you'll probably be surprised in how it happens and how things shift and turn. And it's not usually quite to what you were worrying about. Our worries rarely manifest in a way that we were traumatizing ourselves with them. And that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
Okay, Karen.
I want to add 2 more things. One, when you go into shower, like when I go into shower, not every time, but many times. Sometimes I just thank the water, and but I like to wash away anything that I don't want. If I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling anxious, so I ask the water to wash it away, and then I also. If you take something away, then we need to fill it up. So I fill it up with joy. I fill it up with, the water is so generous. So I just, wash it and then fill it up with whatever I want. And another great tool is to give back to people the energy that you carry from them, and to take back your energy. Sometimes you feel a little overwhelmed. You've seen someone and it's and maybe I might have been a power play. So I just think of them, I breathe, I say, I give you back all your energy, everything that belongs to you, that it's in me, I give it back to you, and I take back everything that is mine. That's some of the tools I use.
All right.
Those are great points. I'm very much a keep it simple kind of person. And, some of these tactics are great, and I want to try them. The one thing I will say, especially in the last year, I've had a lot of health issues, a lot of things, and I can get very negative, on myself. And I've tried very, very hard, like literally as I'm laying here before I go to bed, like as hard as it is, I don't care if I'm thanking whoever, your creator, whatever it is, for the food you ate, the bed you're sleeping on, find something to be grateful about, because it does make a difference right before you fall asleep, to not be focusing so much on that negative. It does change your mindset. It takes a while. I didn't believe it, but it does. And the other thing is, it took a little bit. Somebody suggested to me once to do automatic writing, and I'm like, okay, we'll see. Right. I again, squirrel in traffic. So if I can slow down long enough to hear anything, whatever. But I literally will sit and just write. And I started reading what I was writing, and I'm like, where'd this come from? And it really got to the point where, like, it starts to help you really slow down and look at things that maybe you wouldn't look at, and focus on things that you would normally focus on. And, it sounds silly, but, just give it a try. It really, really helped me come out of some dark places.
Okay, Sarah.
Yes, I do like what you said about the communicating with your guides, because that is an important part of my meditation in the morning. It's not only the guides, but those people that have that are on the other side, and a lot of them are people that people like now it's Anne Gaiman, but I mean people like Janet No Havoc and Mavis Patilla, and my friend George Coury from the New York area. They always seem to come and say, don't worry about your mediumship, I've got this. And that, to me, that just before I get out of bed, I just find that a wonderful part of the day. And also, speaking of another one, I do miss John White, who's a Lily Dale medium, and I think from one of those Sunday night circles, the old Sunday night circles that he used to do, he said, you can't name one mystic that didn't meditate. And I think that was a very valuable thing that he did, that he told that place when the healing temple would be packed with like 30 people,
Mm-hmm.
that was a really wonderful, useful thing. But also, I mean, I'll go back further to another person who's no longer with us, but in my regular Seattle AA meeting, there was a guy, Alonzo, and after all these people would be in there, detoxing angst and all this sort of thing, he would say, you know what, I just sit down and I ask myself, am I drunk? No. Do I want to drink? No. Am I in jail? No. He said, so what else have you got to worry about? And it's a very important part of, like keeping life simple and sort of like putting it down to the basic thing. And that really gets you into the state of being grateful. So a lot of times when you say, oh, I wish I had more appointments or this or that, the world is awful, just to sit down and say, well, got a roof over my head, this, that, and the other thing. It just to putting things into perspective in the most simple way that you can, really, that to me is a great way to ground. And it really moves you into the gratitude for what you do have. And to say, like, I'm not who I was 36, thank God. I'm not who I was 36 years ago and that sort of thing. But it's just to keep things simple, and to know that then when you get into that, that there are things you can do about whatever your situation is, and maybe a little bit of what the world situation is too. So that's it, because simple common denominators can help very much too.
It's funny because I've been sitting here, and Lee knows this about me. When spirit steps in, my nose starts to itch and I start to yawn. And I've been sitting here fighting back and going, who is here? And I'm so focused on what we're doing. The minute you mentioned his name, I heard, hi, honey. I love John. I love him.
Yeah. We used to tease each other about being older hippies. In fact, I wish I had known him back in those days. I bet he was a hoot back in the late 60s and early 70s.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Michael, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. First of all, working out, I just came from the gym, so working out is huge for me. I've been exercising since 93, so talk about a really positive way, not just metaphysically, but physiologically, doing something that's really healthy, both energetic and biological wise. So thumbs up for that, for working out. Being outside is huge for me also. I volunteer at a zoo on the weekends, and being out in the Florida Everglades is another way for me to ground and do that. So like Angela was mentioning, but one of the things that Karen said and Leanne started talking, and then everyone sort of chimed in, which I really, really loved, was the concept of being mindful and practicing gratitude. And I think when you do that sort of thing every day, it is truly life-changing. And we just finished on my platform a 33 days of gratitude challenge, and it finished on February 16th actually. And we had to journal 3 things a day and then post them online that we were grateful for. And you know what's happened? Everyone's still doing it, and it stopped on February 16th, and everyone's still going into the group, the gratitude group, and they're posting their 3 things. Because we got into that, it was a challenge. So the idea is, okay, we're going to compete and make sure that nobody, stops practicing gratitude, right? And now nobody has. It's like, it's addictive. You really get into this zone, and that is a daily practice that is, I think, is so foundational, because once you're practicing gratitude, it makes everything else so much easier.
Mhm.
Okay, and instead of me adding anything, I'm going to go ahead and close this up, because I'm thinking John White has some things to talk to me about.
I know.
So with that, it's our sincere hope, as always, that you guys got something out of this from somebody. We're honored that you spend your valuable time with us. If anybody has any particular topics that they would like us to cover, please let us know. And with that, I'm sure that everybody would like to say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much, beautiful souls.
Good night.
Good
May
night.
you have a week as amazing as you. And until next week, bye-bye.